All right, mic check. We should have audio. Let's see here. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Let's see. Let's check in here. Ooh, looks like we got some audio. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to talk to you, one viewer, about the stems that I finally got. So that's good. So I finally got the opportunity to mix this track, and in order to do that, I'm going to have to freeze all these things and flatten all these things, because this is how I got the actual track. So I want to walk you through the process. And of course, this is a track that I like. That's why I agreed to do this. So I thought it would be fun to bring you people along and walk you through the step, right? Through the process, I mean. And what I want to do here is the stuff that, oh my gosh, are you kidding me right now? Did that not get consolidated, all this stuff on their crazy, look at their crazy drum track that they got here. This is insane. Let me do this one more time. I probably should have did this before to get ready, but just bear with me. It won't take long. Holy smokes, and there it is there. And yeah, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. Mic check. Mic check test 1, 2, 3. Do we have audio? Do we have audio? Do we have audio here? Let's see here. We have audio from me, so that's good. All right, so let's get to it. Let's see what kind of shit we can group. I don't know what even this is. Why is that even there? That's weird. All right, so this person's audio, I've got some. They sent me the set. It's got some automations in the lanes. So what I want to do is I want to leave the automation, but I want to delete all the processing, if that makes sense. In order to do that, what you want to do is you want to freeze and flatten everything. So we're going to get rid of all the processing for all these tracks. So what I want to do before I do that is start with the majority of the tracks. And so I'll press tab to go over into the mixing view, Control Alt B for the bar on the left. And we'll take a look. We've got here is grouped everything else, it looks like. Yeah, that's how I grouped it. Okay, and then this is bass. I don't know what that is. This is drums, and this has been a while, but I finally got the opportunity to work on this. And so I'm going to make everything post, and or we'll leave that. We'll leave all this stuff. We'll do post. For everything post, we'll do that. And let's open up these channels. Do this. I'm going to start from scratch. I do not want the person's automation in here. I already know what the track's supposed to sound like. And so I am going to do it my way, and I'll walk you through how my way looks. Delete automation. There we go. And make sure I've got no lanes automated. Okay, excellent. So the majority of the tracks is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's just do this here. Let's just go ahead and freeze and flatten out every single thing so that I can just start with wave files, and then I can look at them, right? So I could say, hey, are these wave files too quiet? Are they too loud? And what I'll do is I'll set everything to 0, and I'll clip gain mix the wave files, if that makes sense. All right, so we've got these frozen here. We've got these frozen here. Let's go ahead and just flatten them out. There we go. Everything's flattened out. It should be. There we go. Let me take a look and see what we got here. We've got some kind of automation, so let's show the automation. And the automation is nothing. So let's show the automation. Okay, so it's just this. I don't even know why that's there. We're going to go ahead and delete the automation. And if I need to find out by referencing the original track, I'll do that later. Right now, I have been given full creative freedom. So, oh my gosh, look at this crazy shit. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Let's delete this. Automation. We'll go like that. I don't know what's going on with these bases, why they're automated anywhere at all. And hopefully this doesn't destroy their sound. Let's see what kind of automation they got going on here. So that's cool. I guess I could leave that because that's definitely essential. We'll leave that. For some stupid reason, I think that that's probably good to leave. Alright, so let's freeze and flatten this out, turn these things into audio. Alright, so let's get these flattened out. Holy moly. What in the Sam Hale is going on here? We don't need this automation here because, as you can see, not needed. So let's go ahead and turn that back on. Let's see here. That automation can stay. This, don't know what that is. That sucks. We'll freeze that last because I want to get the majority of the stuff turned into wave files. Already grouped things as best I could, but maybe I'll regroup things. All right. So I've got the mixing glasses on in case I need my headphones. So depending on how loud I want to crank this, it is 10:24 p.m. where I live. So anyhow, depending on how loud I want to crank this, will determine whether or not I'm going to put on the headphones. Go ahead and delete automation on all this stuff. So now I should have just a group. There we go. And all this stuff, nothing. Okay, excellent. Oh, there's something there. And then there's this bass group, which looks to have a sidechain compressor on it. We're going to get rid of that. And let's flatten out this, and that's it. And then I'm ready to do some actual mixing. All right, let's see what kind of shit we got going on here. Oh, that's a beast. All right, so let's see what we got. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Let's see what we got here. So that looks like everything. Is it everything? That's everything. All right. Let's see. Let's get on this master channel. Holy shit. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is somebody that's actually taken my advice, so this is good. Let's get rid of these things. And we'll keep that, and we'll keep that for later. And we'll turn this guy on so we can see the stuff we need to see. And then we'll keep this as the cell phone emulation EQ settings. All right. And then we'll maybe duplicate this, and we'll get rid of that and that. Oops, that and that. And we'll have this guy be at 10K, and then this guy here be at 100 hertz. And that'll be our grot box emulation Oratone, kind of, sorta, right? Not really, but kind of, sorta. Let's hear what we got. Beautiful. I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. But let me take everything, turn everything down 6 dB. There we go. And let me do the same here. Turn this down 6. Let me do the same here. Let's put this, that's at 0. Okay, that's good. And then let's take the basses. That's at 0. Let's delete the automation. And take everything and put everything down at 6 also here. So let's go. There we go. And then we'll go into the drums. What do we got on the master channel for the drums group? Okay. So let's take everything down 6 here also. Because that sounded good, but that sounded loud. So we've got a trigger. That doesn't need to be affected. We've got easy drummer. Is there anything on the easy drummer track? Let's see here. Easy drummer. Nothing on easy drummer. So let's leave that guy at 0, and then I might use that for some fills. Okay, let's hear this one more time. Let's see what we got going on here as far as this stuff is concerned. Let's hear what we got. Beautiful, I like it very much. Okay, I've been given creative freedom, so I think right there, right there, I think right there needs something. I'm not sure what it needs. Maybe a little bit of this bass. What kind of bass do we got here? Maybe we'll take a little piece of this bass and introduce it. And hopefully it's not going to be crazy loud. That don't work. So, so let's drop it down 5 steps. And let's see if that works. That sounds fucking sick. I like it. But is it mixed right? The world may never know unless I come back over here and take a look. Oh, I like that. I like that. Let me put something on my master channel real quick so that I don't trick myself into thinking this shit sounds better than it does. Let's see here. We're going to put on spaces sub 4. There we go. So dry, boom, mix. Let me just double check something real fast. Turn every single thing off here. Okay. Okay, first of fucking all, that's way too loud. So, I'm going to take all the drums and kick them down another 6. I mean, another 3. And then we get... Okay, so whatever this noise is, let's look at that automation. Let's get rid of that automation. It doesn't need to be there. This noise, we're going to bring this guy down, I don't know, 6 easily. Let's see. Let's try that one more time. Okay, something's wrong with their snare, I think. Okay, I can't do anything about that. It's baked into their drums. Let's just make sure I don't have an EQ on this channel. Okay, so this is a good time to do some dynamic EQ. So this would be... not sure what it is, so I'm going to have this come in so I can see what it is. Okay, so I think it's this guy right here. Okay, so that sounds cool, but I'm going to do this instead. sounds way better. Okay, I like that. But their kick is like almost invisible. Is this their kick right here? Is this their kick? Yeah, and so is this then. Interesting. All right, so I'm going to group their kicks. And remember I said I was going to do some clip gain stuff, but that'll come later. And so we'll call this kick. There we go. And we'll call, we'll color that red. And we'll color this red. Oops, we'll do this. There we go. So these are the kick. This is the kick. Let's bring the kick up 3 dB. Then we've got, there we go. Seems like it needs some more of that piano right there. And where was the piano? Which one is the piano? Is it this one? What the fudge? What the fudge? Where's the piano? Interesting. I don't even know where the piano's at. I can't find the piano. Is it a piano? Oh, it's not. It's a synth. I don't know why I thought that was a piano. Okay, so this is sounding pretty boring. This drum beat, it's pretty monotonous. And so I'm thinking when these kick drums come in, which is going to be right here, we're going to start to do something different with this beat. So once again, since I have creative freedom, I'm going to try something a little bit different here. With this, let me put in a track real quick because I want to grab this and put it on here and see if this actually makes the beat sound better or worse real fast. Okay, so it's better without this. So I'm going to start adding phaser and flanger, and I know you're probably thinking, what the fuck? Well, because I want to create like a water type of effect, but not with a disperser. I want to do something else. So maybe flanger and then phaser. Let's see here. But then group. And then down here. And then macro map the dry wet to this macro here and the same here. And it's too bad that the Mega Mod doesn't work with the native plugins of Ableton Live. That would be sick. But anyways, let me see what I got here. Okay, so that's a problem. That's a fucking problem, big time. Let's go ahead and lower the volume by 3 dB. Maybe even by 6. So we'll go -3. Listen to it. It's a little bit loud. Maybe it can go down even more. So what I'll do is I'll group this. There we go. And so now let me do A/B real quick. Okay, so there we go. So let me start playing with this macro knob and see what kind of weird shit we can get. Okay, so that's about as high as I want that to ever get. Okay, so their kick drum sounds like a fucking machine gun. So I'm going to actually split this section here, and then I'm going to split this section here, and then I'm going to put a swing on here. Let me grab some crazy swing. So what is this? Is this eighths? Yeah, these are eighths. So let me grab a groove real quick. Let me grab an eighth. Oh, these are 16th notes. I like that. Let me go ahead and commit that just to this section here. And then I'll come down here and grab that and commit that. So we get... And then we'll put a crazy freaking swing on this too. And actually, I think it would be cooler if it was like... If it was part not unswung and then part swung. Here's what I mean. So we can go like eighth. So we can do something like this. I think that would be way cooler. Oops. And maybe even something like this would be kind of cool. Oops. Let's get a little bit less. Oops. Fucking A. All right. Let's go back to what it was. And here's why. I'm going to put a crazy swing on this stuff here. This one will work. So swing 16, 15. I'll do that, and I'll go ahead and commit it. And then swing 16, 15, commit it. Okay. So we got some EQing that needs to be done. Let's see here. So I think that's pretty boring bass line. And I think maybe right here, no offense, you know who you are. I'm not trying to say this is boring, but what I'm saying is maybe if we change this up a little bit, we can make it a little bit more interesting is all. So we'll go ahead and split it. I'll recolor it. Then I'll drop it down over one octave. Okay, and maybe do just maybe There we go. Boom. So we'll go down and we'll put it in textures modes just in case, because I love textures modes, and we'll see what it sounds like. That sounds fucking sick. I mean, that's sick right there. All right, so let's see. Maybe even, and this is where it's questionable, maybe put even whatever the fuck, whatever the fudge, I mean, this is. Maybe we'll drop that even an octave. And we'll put that into textures modes as well. And we'll get something like that. And I think maybe just have it ride. Here's what I mean by that. Just come over here. Oh wow, that's so I got fortunate. Maybe just come over here like this. I'll even put a I'll even put a little guy here. Boom. And a little guy here. And then I'll just have this section just ride. Here's what I mean. Let me come over here and do a little bit like that, just in case it doesn't want to agree with me. And then I'll obviously come down here and this. Then maybe I'll do something like this. There's 4, and then maybe it can change there. So we can. And then maybe, yeah. And then I think that's kind of cool. I think that's a good enough change to actually matter. And then we go back into whatever this is. What is this? Well, that was fucking abrupt. So first of all, whatever the fudge that is, that needs to come down at least 3 dB. Oops. Okay, so this is some kind of weird lead. So maybe I'll throw maybe I'll put this rack over here on this thing and get rid of the automation. So we got something crazy like so that's weird. Maybe not. Okay, that does sound kind of cool. So here's what I think. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. So here, I need this to like have a transitional section. So I'm thinking, grab an EQ. Let's see here. An EQ, not an EQ, a reverb. I can't think. Okay, so reverb. And then reverse this. Do that, freeze and flatten it. There we go. And then this will be the transitional element that I was looking for after I reverse it. There we go. So interesting. So I think this section needs to be let me see, let me make sure. Okay. So yeah, I don't think that'll interfere with anything, and I think that'll actually sound pretty cool right here. So we got something like except for this just be all just dropped a step or an octave, and then we oops, what did I just do? It's this guy that needs to be dropped a step or an octave, I mean. And then let's color this guy like crazy, like something like, let's color it like, there we go. And then maybe, so since I got that new plugin, we can do some distortion mod of whatchamacallit. We can do some distortion automation. I almost called it modification. But yeah, it is modification. But we'll do some distortion automation just on this section alone. So maybe, oops. Let's load a plugin. Let's do maybe trash. I don't know. Maybe fire. We'll do fire. Fire is a lot easier to work with. We'll do fire. There we go. And then I'll add just a crazy LFO. What is this? Envelope follower. Ooh, nice. We'll do a randomizer. There we go. Okay, so this might work pretty good. assign this parameter. There we go. Let's delete that one. That'd kind of work. That'd kind of work. I don't know. Maybe we'll just put an LFO now after it. And then we'll map this to here also. That'll work. And we'll just have this guy kick on. Actually, let me just duplicate this and have this in its own channel. And then throw some delay on. I think maybe some delay would be cool right there. And just here, like around the 1K area. Okay, whatever that little freaking wild electric chicken shit needs to come off right there. And I'm thinking do the same thing. Interesting, that's so quiet compared to the rest. I'm thinking do the same thing that I did building up into the other jam. So I'm gonna go ahead and boom. And I'll duplicate this and then bow, and then consolidate it, reverse it, and then slap an EQ on there. I mean, reverb. Sorry about that. I keep on saying EQ, reverb. So let's find a reverb. So I'm doing like actual producer shit right now, along with mixing, which is cool. I love doing this because it gives me creative freedom. Let's see here. Audio effects, reverb. Where you at? There you are. Reverb. Then we'll slap that on there, and we'll take this down, and we'll do it again. Freeze. Flatten. And stretch this out and reverse it. And there we go. Now we have the swell that builds up into this part. And let's do that real quick. And if you press loop, right, then you can move this little marker and it'll actually adjust the end. And I think maybe that looks good right there. And we'll do a little crossfade action. We'll go ahead and now a dedicated actual fade, and then we've got okay, so I think to keep this exciting, because it is an exciting track, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to duplicate this out, consolidate this. Okay, and I'm going to loop both of them, and then I'm going to half time, put it on forward stop, right, for this, forward stop for this, and then I'm just, since they're looped, I'm going to half time them. So I got a half time, little break, but still not a break in intensity, if that makes sense. And so the reason I do forward stop for these sections when I half time them is because sometimes when you half time them, the kick will come out like whoa, whoa, or the snare will be like kind of granulated, and you can adjust this percentage here, and that'll actually shorten up the decay, sort of, or the sustain, sort of. It's almost like a decay or a release dial here. So we've got here's what I wonder too. Whatever this is, if we slap him over here and then drop him down. What did I do? I dropped it down 5. Maybe drop this guy down 5 over here. Color it yellow also, and then see what that does. See what that actually adds or takes away from stuff. That's kind of cool. Still off somehow. Maybe bring it down 6. Maybe that'll be the magic number. Yeah, so 6 works better. So we'll come down to 6. And then I'll make this one 6 also. So there's 2 things that are happening. It was out. It was flatter. Wait, maybe it was like flatter. Maybe it was a little sharp or not. Not sure, right? Because I don't have perfect pitch. But there's a couple things at work here. So when you get down into the lower registers, I guess, or the longer wavelengths, the lower tones and frequencies, it's harder to tell when things are out of pitch or out of tune. And this is what I'm thinking here. Maybe just do a quarter bar, just a repeat of this. Here's what I mean. And then that same jam right there. Except for, of course, well, it didn't sound too bad. But you can see that it is. So maybe just that, just to make it a little bit better, a little bit neater. And let's see what this one is. And that one's pretty terrible also. So maybe something like that. And then we get something kind kind of interesting that I think is a much required change here. I think maybe we just call that four bars, and then we kind of like swell into whatever this is here somehow, maybe by doing the same technique. Let's see, we get you know what? That actually, that beat right there, that little beat change. I think maybe if I put that here and then I cut it in half even more. So if I cut it in half one more time and lowered it even more to tighten it up. Interesting. All right, so this is cool. I'm going to use this natural little mistake here. As kind of like a riser. So let's maybe bring this guy up a step, turn this guy into tones. Bring this guy up a step, 2 steps, put it into tones mode, and this guy up 3 steps. 3, and then put that into tones mode and see what we get. Let's see what kind of shit we get. Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it. But I do like reverb. Reverb's my friend, so since reverb's my friend and this is the end of the track, let's slap some reverb on right here. And we'll just wash it out. We'll start to wash this guy out into 30%. And then maybe even do like a frequency shifter. Let's see here. Maybe frequency shifter. We'll do something like this, and then we'll 50 cents. And so that'll add, if I add 50 cents, this will add to this weird kind of like flangey type of effect. think maybe just stop the beat right here. Let's cut that beat off right here at this little last section, and then that part of the beat off. And then cut this off as well. It's like, welcome to the fucking Arabian desert. Anyways, this sounds cool, so yeah, I think I've actually made an improvement. Let's take a look now. Let's see what kind of shit I got going on here in these heavy sections. So there's something going on down here that's not needed. That's fine. Interesting. So here's what I just noticed. When the beat drops in, there's no fucking impact. And it's because of this layer. It's got to be because of this layer. Alright, so that'll work. Alright, so here's what I can do. Here's what I can do. Look what I can do. Alright, I can do this. I get my freaking MERV 13 paper tomorrow that I could wrap my Owens Corning in. I could take off all this other shit that's wrapped around it and just wrap it in the paper, which will have a better result. Alright, so look what I could do. Look, watch what I could do. Check that out right there. Interesting. So it's still a little bit too aggressive, but it's not quite aggressive enough without it. So I guess I just lower this down to 9. Maybe we lower it down to 12. That's getting into the sketchy territory now. So it's not making a fucking difference. The lower I get, the lower I bring it, the less of a difference it's making. 15 maybe? Yeah, that's cool. That'll work. Alright, well, I told you I was going to be doing clip gain. So I'm going to spare you the grueling details of what I'm about to do. All these sections that are colored differently are going to go in different audio lanes, right? This will go in its, so I'll give you an example real quick, and then I'll do all the rest of this stuff off camera so you don't get bored out of your gourd. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take all the red here and get rid of it. Take the blue here and get rid of it. I'm going to recolor this a different color, maybe white. And then recolor, keep that green, that's fine. So I don't need this red here. Although let's see here. So I'm going to recolor this a different color. We'll do that. Alright, so I've got this color lane, this colored lane, this colored lane, and I'm going to duplicate this twice. And then I've got the yellow lane. Then I've got the white lane. Oops. And then I've got the green lane. Now, why? You're probably thinking, well, what the fuck, why? So if you come in here and you look at the clip is 6 decibels, right? And I'm at -9. So it's +6, but -9 on the fader. If I just bring this down to 0, and then I come over to the fader and I hit -3, same loudness, right? And that's what I'm going to do. This is at 0, so that's cool, but the fader is at -9. So I'm going to bring the fader up to 0, and I'm going to bring the clip down to oops, shit. Okay, so let's find out. So this is 0. This clip is -6, and the fader is -9. So that's, what is that, -15? So this is 6, and then -9. So that's 3 again, because this is +6. So we'll bring this down to 0. Bring this down to -3. Now you're probably thinking, well, why? And here's why. If you look at a fader, right, we'll use the master channel as the example. So we're going +6, and then -6 is 0, -6 is 6, -6 is 12, -6 is 18, -6 is 24, -6 is 30, -6 is 36, and now we're going down to 42, 48, 54, 60, and all this stuff that looks like -6, but look at the difference. Like when we're down at the bottom, I barely have to move the mouse at all. When we're up at the top, if I barely move the mouse, I'm only going like 3 dB, maybe 2 dB, maybe 1 dB. But if I'm down here and I'm doing the same thing, I'm going 6 dB, 3 dB, 9 dB, you know what I mean? And so because of that, oops, let's bring this down to -12. There we go. Well, that was pretty lucky. I landed right on -12. Because of that, it's a lot easier to make what appears to be big moves here on the faders the closer it is to 0, but you're not actually making big moves. So it's a lot less likely that you'll get tricked when the fader is way down low. So these are, let's make sure these are the same. So this is 0 dB. This is 0 dB, and this is at -9. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this fader at 0 dB, and then I'm going to put these at -9. And it will sound the same, but it'll actually sound better, right? Because I don't know, I don't remember the intricate details and the terminology, but it has something with the intersample interpolation or something like that. So by me actually messing with the clip fade or the clip gain, I'm actually keeping a higher quality sample, if that makes sense. So this is -3, and this clip is set to 0, so I can just put this clip at -3 now. There we go. And then put the fader at 0. Put this fader at 0, put this clip at -3. So for me to do all the fader action inside of the audio clip itself, it's like laying a foundation. It's like pouring concrete, letting the concrete dry, then you build the house, right? And instead of having like a block that's over here, a block that's down here, a block that's way up there, and just all kinds of fucking crazy. And that's just my analogy. That's the way I like to think about it. And the real smart people, they know what that actually means. So this is -5.6. So I'll go into here and make these guys -5.6. There we go. And then put this back to 0. And these guys should be the same. These guys should all be the same. Yeah, they're all the same. And that's why I separated them out onto their own tracks. These are all at 0 dB, and they're -5.6 as well. So I'll come in here and select them all, make them -5.6. Now I'm going to keep you here because I want to show you the proof of concept, right? So put that back at 0. This is minus 15, and this is pretty much 0. So we'll just do minus 15. Okay, and then we'll put this up at 0 again. This is both of these are the same at 0, and so this is minus 15 as well. This is minus 16.8. So we'll go like this, and I'll come in here, and I'll go minus 16.8. We got minus 9, and that's at 0, so I'll come in here, minus 9. And this is all unnecessary stuff. And we'll set this to 0. And we're just about done here. Let's see, we got minus 0.7, and that's at 0. So let's just make this 0. And then this is going to be, let's duplicate this out. Actually, I don't think I need to duplicate this out. Let me make sure all the clips are the same, though. Same volume levels and stuff. No, so they are different. So I'm going to duplicate this out. I'm going to get rid of the yellows down here. And then I'll get rid of the green up here. There we go. So these clips are minus 2.69. And this is at 0. So we'll just leave them right where they're at, minus 2.69. These guys are 0 at minus 0.7. So we'll leave that at 0. These guys are minus 6. Let's see if these are both the same. So this is 0, and it's transposed. This is 0. This is 0. So these are all 0, and this is minus 6. So I'll just come in here and select everything. And I'll just do minus 6. Minus 6, bam, there we go. Set that to 0. Let's make sure all these are the same. This is 0. This is, okay, so these are not the same. The greens are not the same. Everything else is at 0. So I'll duplicate, get rid of the browns, and then come up here and get rid of the greens. And then these guys are at minus 1.4. And then this is 6.9. So this is 1.5, and that is 7. So it's minus 8.5. So we'll put this to 0, and then we'll go minus 8.5. Minus 8.5. There we go. And we'll come over here, the same thing. 8.5. Minus 6.9, and these are 0. So once again, minus 6.9. Across the board, shift and then select all, and then minus 6.9. And there we go, they're all minus 6.9. Let me just double check because I made a mistake. There we go. And oops. So let me make sure I got that right. There we go. 6.9, and then we'll put that at 0. This is 0. What is this? What do we got here? We got minus 9, and that's 0. So once again, and now when I make adjustments, now because I'm in the ballpark, so now when I make, once again, just to remind you, my no viewers, when I make the adjustments, they could be just like fine tweaks, right? The loudness is going to be already there, like the distance, the space, right? Faders is loudness, even though it's called volume. Volume fills spaces. Now here's what's interesting, right? Here's a funny little thing. Volume is a unit of measuring something that fills spaces. Well, fluids fill spaces. And sound, when it's active, acts like a fluid. And this is why in corners, like trilateral or trihedral corners, like ceiling, wall, wall, floor, wall, wall, the pressure is the highest because it's very similar, in theory, to fluid dynamics. So the slower a fluid moves, the higher the pressure. The longer the wavelength, and the more it creates what's called a standing wave in your room, right? So that means a wave that's moving slow. And so there's a high pressure spot, right? So interesting stuff. And you could check this too. You could take an SPL meter and you can move it along a wall. And you'll find places at equal distance from your speaker that's actually high. Like, so if you move it along a back wall, right, you're still at the same distance. I mean, of course, the farther you go from your from the speakers themselves, of course, the sound pressure level is going to drop. But you'll find spots within that area, within the two speakers or just outside the two speakers, that have a fluctuation in sound pressure level. So it's an interesting concept when you think about it, almost like a fluid. And it might be a way that people could think about it to actually help them make more sense of these difficult things that they may encounter when treating a room, or when measuring, or when listening, or when realizing I have a standing wave. For example, I'll tell you a cool thing that I learned. Let me get this down to -9 real quick. So my no viewers, here's a cool thing that I learned. And that is, there's a trade-off. There is a bass vent technique that used to be done, or maybe it's still done, right? I don't know if it's still done, where people would actually build it like a chimney, right, so that low frequencies could escape through the roof of a mixing room. But anyway, so like if you have a slider, if you live in an apartment or something like that, and you have a sliding glass door, if you open the slider 2 feet, by bystanding waves for your low frequencies, they literally pass out the door. But low frequencies are large, so it's got to be 2 feet. Now the trade-off is this: the outside noises are going to come in. So I mean, who knows? You could be creative and say, you know what? A 4-inch thick slab of Owens Corning is 2 feet wide. So I'm just saying. You never know what you can do if you actually think about it in terms of pressure as a fluid, right? And look it up for yourself. That actually works. If you actually open a door, the standing waves will escape. And so that's, like I said, it's a trade-off, you know. So these are at 0 dB, and this is -7.1. So let's just call these -7. Because I don't believe in the 0.1 garbage, it just gets in my way. Imagine if I thought I was that good, that I could hear a tenth of a decibel difference. Maybe. Sometimes I think I can, to be honest with you, but I don't really know that I can. I don't even know if it's humanly possible. So I think when I think that I can, I'm actually just tricking myself. Because there's been times when I've been tired and I've been mixing music and I was A-Bing stuff with my eyes closed, only to find out that the one that I thought sounded better didn't even matter because the frickin' plug-in was off. So I was like, oh shit. I'm like listening really hard and I'm like, you could hear a little bit of a difference right there. And that's when I realized, oh wow, I think this track's actually done. Well, that was probably a loud pop. Sorry about that. So where are we at? We're at 0 decibels. We're at -4. So let's make this -4. And yeah, this is nerdy, dorky stuff, but I don't have nothing else to do. And if somebody happens to come in and learn something from this little quick section, -5.16 plus -6 is going to be -11. Yeah. So we'll make this 0. We'll make this -11. And then we'll make that 0. So someone can learn from what I'm doing right now. As a recap, in case you just came through, I'm taking the clip gain because it's a more high-quality way of adjusting perceived loudness, actual loudness, by the way, not just perceived, like we're not imagining it when we hear it. It's a more high-quality way to adjust the audio sample that you have, or or as some Mohicans say, the Sonic. All right. So -6. It's my little joke. There's some dude that does these Waves commercials. Some black dude with a mohawk. He's a popular mix engineer. I just don't know his name. He calls the waveforms the Sonics, which I think is pretty clever, to be quite honest with you. But I just think it's funny too. It's like, whoa, you gotta be all unique, man. So let's see here. Bring this to 0, and then we'll bring this to -6. -6. So I'm affecting the Sonic. Now these I didn't even hear, and that's why. So that's why I didn't hear them, because these are all the way turned all the way down. So maybe that's why I even. Interesting. So I'm not going to mess with these because they're all the way down. I'll bring them back in maybe if I need them. All right. So what do we got here? What is this Sonic doing? Let's get rid of this trash. And then what is this? This is -6, and this is -10. So we'll bring it up to 0, and then we'll do -16 here. Now, if I did it correctly, and it might hurt my ears if I didn't do it correctly. If I did all this stuff accurately and correctly, then everything should be set to 0. Okay, everything's set. Here, let me just tab over real quick. So everything looks like it's set to 0 except for that thing that oh shit, this one's -6. Okay, so what is this one? Let's tab over to that one. This might be the most important one in the mix, too. No. Where's that -6 at? So where's it at? So it's this guy right here is at -6. And so this guy is in the everything else rack, and it's the first oh gosh, I think that's the most important one. Let's see here. So it's in the everything else rack. It's right there, and it's -6 for, guess why? Because there ain't nothing on the track. Okay, so there's no routing. I don't even know why it's there. All right, well, cool. Let's see if height, width. Let's see, Control-R-B, Control-L, height, width again. Let's do HW, and then we'll do H, and then take a listen. All right, those need to be in a space. Those need to be in a space of their very own. Those little drums that are kicking on right there. Before they go into this crazy liquid rack, they actually need to be in a space. So let me see what kind of stuff I got here. I've got a reverb. Let's throw this into a reverb space. Reverb, so I got another reverb here. Let's try that one. Yeah, I like that. That sounds good. Actually, I think it needs to come down. So we'll bring it down 3 dB. We'll bring this guy down to 12. And let's try this one more time. It's too much now. So we were 9. We'll just do maybe 11. We'll do minus 10. We'll try that. Just a smidge. There it is. That's perfect. Okay, so here, right here, right when these guys start, these guys need to go out into the cosmos as well. And maybe I'll throw these guys out into that same reverb space. Rapidly, maybe something like okay, and I'm thinking maybe too, something's wrong here with this. Instead of like 1 and 2 and 3 and maybe just 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and is what I'm thinking. So maybe something like boom, boom, boom. Yeah, just kind of like a triplet almost, like maybe even triplet. Let's do triplets mode here real quick. And we'll do maybe something like this. Ooh, that sounds fucking sick. Pardon my French, but I actually think that sounds cool. Yeah, that does sound super cool. Okay, it needs to be more side action. Is it that? No, it's this one. Okay, so I'm going to bring this over to here real quick, and then just kind of sneak it in, right? If that makes sense. set it up for the next thing. Okay? Okay, so this little fucking Egyptian shit, whatever this is, needs to go out into the atmosphere. And so this is going to go out and then come back. Bam, right there. Or maybe it'll just come back right here. Maybe we'll leave it out there. We'll do some kind of fucking crazy shit, just so it's just wild shit, and see if it's too much or not. And this just needs to be there again. So this needs to be a counter rhythm. It needs to be just underneath this. That crazy fucking whatever that is noise. It just needs to be under it. Just straight up. This guy, maybe we'll put that guy over here. Just because I think it'll be a good outro action. Remember in the beginning, if you were here for all this fucking drawn out long mixing session, I turned every track down by 6 decibel before I even started. And now we've got the bass group and the drums group hitting already up at plus 2. So interesting stuff here. Interesting stuff here. And I think I made a major improvement on the original track. I'll do a before and after eventually, maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, I'm not sure. But anyways, that's it for now. and I hope you got something out of it.